I guess I should ask like I usually do. Can you see the screen okay? All right, thank you, Shelby. All right, any thoughts on this one yet? Okay, well, I did pick this one out because it is a little trickier than normal. So we need to discuss something about these. All right, so we're doing the PEMDAS thing, right? Okay, so first thing is parentheses. We have a parenthesis here, but there's nothing we can do with that guy, right? Next up is the exponents. Okay, so the exponent, we got an exponent here, right? So we're going to do 4 times 4, so that's going to be 16, right? Okay, so here's the tricky part. They list multiplication before division. That's not really true. You do the multiplication and division at the same time, and you go from left to right, okay? So here's a good rule of thumb for this kind of stuff. As you're going along here, so we got a plus sign, but then we notice we have a division sign here, right? Anytime you see a multiplication or a division sign, maybe kind of put some parentheses around this, okay? So the point of the story is a lot of people were probably multiplying 2 times -5 and then trying to take 8 and divide it by -10 and getting weirdness. Is that what was happening to you, Shelby? Okay. So that being said, what you need to do, like I said, you're going to do multiplication and division left to right. Whichever one you hit first, you do first. So in this case, we are going to divide first. So they're being kind of tricky with this one, right? So we get 8 divided by 2, that's going to be 4. And then times minus 5. And then we have minus 16 there, and then we get the 18 up front. Okay? So then let's bring it down here. So we got 18. Now multiply these guys together. It gives me minus 20. And then we have the minus 16 already. So it's going to be 18 minus 36, which is negative 18. All right, so good job, Haley. Haley got B. But that's what you need to do, okay? So that was a particular reason I picked that one out. I'm like, yeah, this is one where they're messing with you a little bit. So I want you guys to be aware of that. And it's the same thing when adding and subtracting. You just add and subtract from left to right, and that's kind of what I did here. You know, I put the two subtractions together. I got minus 36, and then 18 minus 36 is negative 18, okay? All right, so that's the biggest thing, is when you multiply and divide, you go left to right, and you do whichever one you hit first. So that's a little bit misleading right here. Okay. Cool. Let's try another one. All right, so this one's just plugging in numbers, chugging out answers, and go. All right, any thoughts on this one? I'll go ahead and set it up while you guys are finishing up here. Okay, so I just plugged in -4 wherever I see x, and I plugged in 5 wherever I see y. And I'll let you take it from there. Okay, so Haley's thinking A. What do the rest of you guys think? Got another vote for A? All right, so let's check it out. So again, order of operations says we're going to do this guy here. So he's 25. And then we have -4. 25 times -4 is -100, times 2 is -200. Okay, and then we do these three guys. So we have -3 and -4 is +12. So we have 12 times 5. So that's going to be +60, and then the -7. So then 200, -200 plus 60 is -140. -7 more is, yeah, -147. Good. Questions on that? All right, let's go ahead and try another one. Okay, so they just want this guy simplified. So this is a lot of distributive property stuff. And what you want to do is start with this guy here on the inside and work your way out. And see which answer you come up with. Okay, so we're going to vote for A. A couple votes for A. Or was that from the last one? I forget. Oh, I think Shelby's got a new one for A. Okay. So what's our first step here? All right, Haley's going with D. Okay, so we got a little difference of opinion here. That's all right. So first thing you want to do, like I said, you're kind of starting on the inside and working your way out. Okay. So I've got this guy here in the parentheses, can't do anything with him, but then I can distribute here, can't I? So I do that. So if I do that, I'm going to get 6x and then plus 15. All right, so that takes care of this part. But then I've got this minus 4x that's inside the brackets, and the brackets are just a fancy version of a parenthesis. Okay, so we can put these two guys together, right? Because we have 6x minus 4x. Okay, so then the stuff in the brackets just becomes 2x plus 15, right? So that takes care of everything in the brackets. So now I've got a minus 4 here and a 6 here. Okay. All right. So the way you get answer A is you take the 6 minus 4, put them together and get 2, and then multiply. But that's against order of operations. Now notice they were nice enough to say, well, if you make that mistake, here's the answer you're going to get. Okay. So we're still taking care of multiplication and division before we get to this adding and subtracting stuff. So then our next move is to take this guy and multiply by the negative 4. Okay, so then this will be minus 8x, and then this will be minus 4 times 15 is minus 60. And then I got the 6 up front. Okay, so now we've got minus 8x, which tells me automatically that's our answer, because that's the one with negative 8x. But then you do 6 minus 60, you get the minus 54. All right, so nice job, Haley. You see where things went south for you, Shelby, was right here. Can't put those guys together first. Order of operations. Okay, and like I said, they're dirty dogs because the second you did that and you multiplied through, you got this answer here. And you're like, oh, there's my answer. But you got to watch these guys because they're kind of creepy like that. Okay. So again, start in the middle, work your way out. Okay, start in the center of the house, work your way to the outside. Cool. All right, let's go ahead and check out another one. Okay, so this one we're actually solving for y. So we definitely got to watch our signs a little bit here. All right, go ahead and check that one out and see what you come up with for an answer, and then we'll talk. Okay, well, keep in mind that you can do the algebra or you can plug in numbers. Now, I wouldn't start with the fractions. Before I do algebra, I try to plug in either the -5 or the 2 and see if it works. Okay? So give that a whirl, see if either of those guys work. Any luck? Nothing? No? Okay. All right, so let's try plugging these numbers in. I'll start with the 5. Okay. So that means we're going to plug in, well, actually, it's -5. -5 here and -5 here. So that would give me 4, and then -5 and -5 is -10, and then minus, so -5 plus 3 is going to be -2. So a lot of negatives going on here, right? And we want to know if that equals 2. So minus a minus is plus, right? So this is going to be 4 plus 10 plus 2. Well, that's way too big, right? That's 16 and we need 2. So let's try the 2 now. So this would be 4 minus, then we go 2 minus 5 minus 2 plus 3. And does that equal 2? Okay, so 2 minus 5, that's going to be minus 3. So we got 4 minus a minus 3, and then minus 2 plus 3 is 5. Okay, so minus a minus 3 is plus 3. So you're going to have 4 plus 3 minus 5. 4 plus 3 is 7, minus 5 is 2. So this is our boy. Okay. Yeah, the double negative is a pain. They put too many negatives in here. So again, I would check the simple answers. I sure as heck wouldn't want to try to plug in, -25 over 2, or even worse, 19 over 5. Yuck. Wrong. So if you're dealing with all the negatives, if you want to get rid of the negatives, that just means you have to switch the signs on these two guys. So if you want to go algebra on this thing, let's go ahead and switch colors here. You'd say I've got 4 and then minus y, and minus a minus is plus 5. Okay, another minus y, and then minus 3, and we want all that to equal 2. So we put the minuses together. There's minus y and minus y, so it's going to be minus 2y. Hang on. All right. So we go minus 2y. I have a terrible time with y's on here. So I've got 4 plus 5 is 9. Minus 3, that's going to be 6. So that's 6, right? Okay, equals 2. So we subtract off 6. These guys cancel out, so I get minus 2y equals negative 4. Divide both sides by minus 2. That gives me y equals 2 divided by 4 is 2. The negatives cancel out, so y equals 2. You can get it that way as well. Okay? But again, a lot of this stuff, as far as taking PERT tests and ACTs and stuff like that, is a lot of technique, right? There's a lot of techniques to these things, a lot of strategies that you can use. Okay, so does that make sense? Like I say, if I can get away with it, I'll plug in numbers before I'll do algebra. And they claim I'm pretty good at algebra, so just saying. Questions? Let's try another one. All right. So again, you can plug in numbers, or you can cross multiply and solve for x. So take your pick, work on that for a little bit, and then we'll talk. All right, so Haley votes for C. Anybody else get this yet? So Haley, did you do algebra or did you plug in numbers? Plugged in? Okay, that's cool. I could totally go along with that. All right, so you picked B, so that's negative, or no, you picked C. That's 10, right? Okay, so like I say, you can cross multiply this and solve for x, or you can plug in numbers, and that's what Haley chose to do. So she's saying that it's 10. All right, so that means we're going to plug a 10 in here and a 10 in here, right? So then we'd have 10 minus 4 over 10. So that would be 10 minus 4 is 6 over 10, right? These are both even numbers, so we can divide them both by 2. So 6 divided by 2 is 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Nice work. Okay. Now the other way you could do this is you'd cross multiply. So if I cross multiply these guys, I get 5 times x minus 4. If I cross multiply this way, I get 3x. So then I have to distribute here, so I get 5x and then minus 20 equals 3x. Subtract 5x from both sides. These guys go away. I get minus 20 equals 3 minus 5 is minus 2x. Divide by the negative 2. And x equals 10. All right, nice job, Haley. All right, let's try one more and we'll call it. Okay, so it looks like another order of operations thing. Guys, go ahead and walk through that and then we'll talk. Okay, we're going to vote for C. What do the rest of you think? Is that a good answer? So you keep getting a negative 112. Okay. Well, let me ask you. In the first set of parentheses here, we've got 3 minus 7, that's negative 4. Negative 4 squared. What's negative 4 squared? Positive 16. Okay. I was thinking maybe you were getting negative 16 there. And maybe that's where you were going with it. You did a negative 16? Okay. All right, so fix that up and I think you'll be okay. So you're thinking it's C now as well? Okay. Haley, you got a vote, since you usually help us out with these. Okay, so again, what we're going to have here, let's bring it straight down here. We're going to have 2, and then we've got 3 minus 7, that's going to be negative 4 squared, and then minus 5, and then we've got 3 plus 1, so it's going to be positive 4 squared. But as we found out, that doesn't really make a whole lot of difference, does it? So this would be 2 times 16 minus 5 times 16. Okay, so then we have 2 times 16, it's going to be 32. And minus 5 times 16, that's going to be 80. And please use your calculator on those. So if I do 32 minus 80, yeah, we get minus 48. Beautiful. Savion, nice job, brother. All right. So on that happy note, we're out of time. Yeah, that was a good one, man. All right, so we're out of time. We will continue this next time. And I appreciate you guys showing up. And we'll see you then.